afternoon. Oh my gosh, that light up there, I'm not having it. But now you can see my chair covered with stuff. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's when my cardigans and stuff. I have problems. But that light. Oh, I might have to turn off the light in here. Yeah, that's not going to work. Well, you're going to have to deal with my light. Unless I can figure out a different angle. Hold on. Maybe that. There we go. I'm just going to block the light with my head. So now you can just see the light glancing off of my gigantic 5 head. Good afternoon. I'm wearing my oak carp shirt. It's a giant carp that landed on a building. And there's a guy at the bottom that says, "Oh, carp." Okay. Sorry, that's awkward. I know. It's better than me like trying to stand up and show you the shirt and all that stuff like I normally do. So let's see. It's Thursday. Tomorrow's Friday. I'm usually really excited for Friday, but I had to like bust my butt to get stuff ready for tomorrow since Monday is no school for Memorial Day. So I had to get out emails to you guys, have all the assignments squared away perfect because I'm a little obsessive with that type of stuff, and get all those links out. So got all that done. So 10th grade and AP, you both received emails today, and your parents did, for this next week's assignments. So 10th graders, you guys are looking at counterclaims and rebuttals. And there's quite a bit of work as far as identifying them in a few passages. I think they're pretty easy. So make sure you've looked at that, and you can start on it at any time, really. So tomorrow I'll be meeting with second period to go over that. Fifth period today got a little inside scoop on that, and I shared a little bit of it with them, just because they always kind of have to wait until the lesson's really already been presented to everybody else and they finally get a chance, but then it's due that night. So I gave them the instruction early. Really, if you are in 5th or 6th period, you should be looking at your stuff early in the week anyway, and tackling it whatever time that you have available. And then I'll always have it due, not always, usually have it due after we've had a chance to have a teams meeting. On discussions, it's kind of hard because I don't really want things to drag too much into the weekend, and I would like people to be able to finish their assignments by Thursday, so on Fridays I can enter attendance properly. So for some discussions, you will have to turn in on Wednesday and reply by Friday or Sunday. Anyway, read the instructions. It's there. It's a lot clearer online than me talking about it. Let's just be honest. All right. Maybe this light's going to make me look like an angel. Let's see if we can do that. Get just enough glow. Oh, it's like an aura. I have my tea, even though I'm sitting on my bed awkwardly. I'm like kind of half on my bed, half off my bed. That's weird that you're seeing my bed. It's okay. It's the rest of the family's up doing stuff. My son was so cute. He was at the table earlier recording a Flipgrid. Yeah, so if my second grader can do a Flipgrid, so can you guys. So, I mean, seriously, step up. Anyway, he recorded a Flipgrid that was 10 minutes long. Yes, he maxed out the time. And it was him reading from a book aloud to his teacher and classmates because they can go watch each other's. And they're trying to practice what we call prosody, related to prose. And that is the inflection you use in your voice, the rate in which you speak. So that way it's appropriate. And that's a way we gauge your fluency as a reader, technical stuff. And so if you're able to do that stuff, it just shows like what level you're at and like how many words you stumble upon or don't know, etc. Did you know that most words you read, you don't actually read the word, you just see the word and they've just become sight words for you? That's why reading a lot of things early on is really important. A lot of people think of sight words as just words like a, the, and, because they're ones we know that are so common, but they're just some of the first sight words that you really learn. But throughout your life, you are building your sight word vocabulary list. Fun fact from the literacy specialist to be, that's me, because that's what I'm learning about in my classes. So that's just fascinating to me because I was thinking about it in one of my classes. They're going over that, and they're talking about how, like, even on this PowerPoint slide, you're not actually reading each word like phonetically. You're not sounding it out. You're not actually reading the word. You see the word and you know what word it is because your brain has been mapped out with that word. It's a sight word. You see it, you know what word that is. And we have so many words that are like that for us. It's kind of cool how the brain works. This is chai, as usual. Come on, nothing new. Nothing new today. Oh, wait, we do have something new today. Some stuff arrived in the mail, which I'm going to share, of course, because why wouldn't I nerd out about that stuff with you guys? AP, oh my gosh. We are starting Frankenstein. Don't wait. There's a pre-reading activity that I sent to you guys that you should do before you even start reading. So you could do that today. You could do that tomorrow. You could do it Saturday. You could do it Sunday. You could do it Monday. You could do it Tuesday. But I would do it before you start reading, and I wouldn't wait till Wednesday to start reading unless you plan on reading a little bit each day. You have 117 pages to read between now and June 1st, which is when we're going to start discussions that week. Now, technically, sixth period has until Thursday, but that means they're leaving their work to the last minute to do for that week, and they don't want that because there are responses that you have to do, plus you have to get going on that next week's reading because the reading kind of resets on Monday and gives you that new goal of what to get to by the next Monday so that you can do the assignments that week and participate in the discussion. So sixth period kids, you still want to follow that reading schedule and be done by Monday. Even though you might be like, well, technically I have until then to our discussion. Well, good luck with the discussion board if you're not getting caught up with the reading. And you're also going to get stressed out because you're going to end up having to try to read all this stuff in a very short amount of time. So you definitely don't want to fall behind on the reading and you don't want to play that game. You want to stick with the schedule. We have a suggested schedule on there where we broke down some of the reading for you. I also have an audiobook I shared with you guys for Frankenstein, so that's exciting. Anyway, we're starting that. Anyway, oh, I was telling you about my son. See how my brain goes on tangents? You guys know that. So my son was reading James and the Giant Peach, which I love. We've been reading it together. I've been reading it to him actually in the evenings, but not every single night because some nights we're just busy with other stuff or I'm working on grad school stuff. But we're about halfway through it now and he loves it. Absolutely loves it. And it's great because he was really hesitant at first. And the start of James and the Giant Peach, you forget how depressing that is, just how horrible James's life is with his aunts and his parents dying, all that stuff. So, and he's never seen the movie. So he read the first chapter aloud to his class and recorded it on Flipgrid. And it was really cute because he was so excited. And he was just tackling those words left and right. He was trying to put all the expression in and the sass. And there's some long sentences that Roald Dahl writes. He just does a lot of the polysyndeton. Remember that, AP kids? That's where you put in those ands where you don't really need them. Traditionally, it's not like it's wrong when you're doing it on purpose. Writing is such a weird thing because it's an art. So there's like the grammar Nazis that are like, no, that's absolutely wrong. That's a rule. And it's like part of the fun with any art form is you learn the rules and then you learn how to break them. And Roald Dahl does that quite a bit. I mean, like kids that come to me and they're like, Mrs. Thomas, I was told that you couldn't start a sentence with a conjunction like and or but. I'm like, not if you're doing it intentionally for a reason, stylistically. Totally fine. Just don't do it all the time. Otherwise, it's just like you just don't know how to write a sentence. But if you've proven you know how to write a sentence or you're doing it for the sound of it, go for it. But don't do it in your academic essays. They don't want to see that there. I'm talking creative writing. All right. So he read that. It was really cute. He's very proud of himself. I was proud of him because he hasn't really read the book himself. He just follows along as I'm reading. We sit side by side and I read the chapter and we look at the pictures and enjoy it, everything. And I do all the voices. And there's Aunt Spiker, and she talks really abrasively like this and yells at him. And then there's Aunt Sponge, and she talks like this and has a very odd voice because she's very large in size. So every time I do Aunt Sponge voice, he ends up laughing. I almost start laughing doing it. So that's fun, doing voices, all that good stuff. So I got a couple things in the mail today. Yeah, I did, because you're not supposed to go to the store. Plus, you can't find anything anyway. So one thing was I've been needing to find relaxation. So I've been taking baths, and I don't have a bathtub in my bathroom, but my kids do. So I have to go use their stinky bathroom to take a bath. And so I've been trying to make it a little bit nicer in there. So I got myself a bath pillow. It's not one that you have to inflate. It's like, covered in vinyl, but it's soft and squishy. So we'll see how that goes. And then I have like candles in there, and I've got my bath bombs. And the next move I'm going to make is one of those trays that goes across the tub that you can set your stuff on. Because, yeah, I'm one of those weirdos that takes my book with me. This is the current book I'm reading. I've been waiting a while to read this one. I was reading my other book, The Power, that really honestly took me a long time to get into, like over halfway through the book, because it had so many characters. It was flipping chapters with between all the different characters. But it finally all started to come together about halfway through, and then I really liked it. There also is multiple narratives, which is interesting to me that my books back to back have that in common. See, this is how English teachers think about their reading. I know we're weird. We start to compare things, we notice things, whatever. But totally different book, because this is a bunch of stories of a bunch of different Native American characters. And so it's trying to capture what life is like for urban Native Americans. And specifically what I've read so far is that they're all in Oakland, California. And so oftentimes the stories we hear from Native peoples tend to be a little bit more rural or reservation stories. And so that's what I like about this one so far is it's telling that urban experience in the big city and what that's like and how it connects to these other themes and ideas and the plights that they have as a people and as individuals. So it's good so far. I'm on part 2. So I've read stories of 1, 2, 3, 4 different characters so far. And they're really good. The title comes from, and I didn't realize this till I read the chapter that referenced it, which was the second chapter, comes from a Radiohead song, which if you don't know that band, you should check them out. But that's where it came from, is there's a title, I guess, of one of their songs. I don't really know titles of songs that well from bands that I love. I'm really bad that way. But so it's there. So I want to go listen to that again or look it up and look at the lyrics and see if there's any significance there. Because, hello, English nerd, like I said, that's what we do. We see references like that. We see allusions, and it's like, I'm going to go look that up. But it is really interesting because it makes a connection somewhere else in the book. There's been 2 allusions to the phrase there, which is the title. So the first one's on page 29. And this is the Radiohead reference. And it's the character put his headphones on, and he is on mass transit, if I remember right. Yeah, he's on the train. And it says he shuffles the music on his phone, skips several songs, and stays on There by Radiohead. So it's important because he skips several and stays with this song. So that the author is like focusing us in on this detail. And then it continues. The hook is, just because you feel it doesn't mean it's there. All right. So that's the line from the song. Just because you feel it doesn't mean it's there. Interesting. So I'm going to look at the rest of the songs. I don't remember which song that is off the top of my head because I'm also very bad with lyrics. The other place where it references that title of the book is in a reference to Gertrude Stein, who's a famous writer. And I'm trying to find the section. I just read that one, so it's got to be recently. So this is a different character's story. And if I remember it, I thought it was. No, maybe it's him. But it's still him. It's the same character. Sorry about that. So he's going to a building and he's going in he's trying to propose an idea for an artistic project, a film type of thing, a documentary. And it's related to his uncle. And he's talking to a guy outside waiting for his turn to go in to pitch his idea to try to get the funding for it. And so let's see. There's a guy out there that says, let's see. The guy is Rob that's outside, and Denny is the main character. Denny? I don't know how to say his name. But anyway, Denny's waiting for his turn, and Rob is the guy that works there. And Rob says, I mean, no one's really from here, right? Rob says, and they're talking about Oakland. And Denny says, what? You know what I mean. I do know what you mean, Denny says. You know what Gertrude Stein said about Oakland? Rob says. Denny shakes his head, no, but actually knows. Actually Googled quotes about Oakland when researching for his project. He knows exactly what the guy's about to say. There is no there, he says in a kind of whisper, with this goofy, open-mouthed smile Denny wants to punch. Denny wants to tell him he'd looked up the quote in its original context in her Everybody's Autobiography and found that she was talking about how the place where she'd grown up in Oakland had changed so much, that so much development had happened there, that the there of her childhood, the there was gone. There was no there anymore. Denny wants to tell him it's what happened to Native people. He wants to explain that they're not the same, that Denny is Native, born and raised in Oakland, from Oakland. Rob probably didn't look any further into the quote because he'd gotten what he wanted from it. He probably used the quote at dinner parties and made other people like him feel good about taking over neighborhoods they wouldn't have had the guts to drive through 10 years ago. The quote is important to Denny. This there. He hadn't read Gertrude Stein beyond that quote, but for Native people in this country, all over the Americas, it's been developed over. Buried ancestral land, glass and concrete and wire and steel, unreturnable covered memory. There is no there. So, 2 connections in the title and that one chapter from that character, which I thought was cool. I know that took a while, but it's worth it. Pulitzer Prize finalist. So we'll see what I think as I keep going. So far, I really like the stories. I like the voices. Some of them are in first person, some are in third person. I'm still thinking about like why the author chose to have some in first and some in third. And hoping that part 2 answers that a little bit for me. And look, part 2 starts with another quote from Gertrude Stein. So if you don't know much about her, look her up. So the other thing that arrived in the mail today, besides my pillow so I can read my book in comfort, is my flip belt. Okay, so I've noticed since I've been running again, I've had to carry my cell phone because some of my pants don't have really good pockets or they aren't big enough to hold my bulky phone because I have an OtterBox case on mine. And so I was like, I need something to carry it. So I got myself this belt. Let's hope it fits. It has zippers and also has places to just tuck things into here. It's called a flip belt. And yeah, I'm excited to use it so that I don't have to hold my phone anymore. I can just shove it into a pocket and deal with it. I'm just got to make sure my stuff actually fits first. But the zipper is beneficial because then if you have like coins or things you think might pop out as you're running, you can do that. But there's a pocket here, and I think I can attach it's for my keys. So you can attach your keys to it. So if they pop out, it will be attached to something. So that's cool. That's the other thing I got in the mail that I was looking forward to because it was driving me bananas. And I asked my sister what she would suggest, and she was saying maybe something with a hydration pack on it, but I'm like, dude, I'm not that hardcore yet, so let's wait for that because she spent like over $100 on hers. I'm like, I'm not spending that much money. Not happening. What else? I think that's it. It's Thursday. AP testing is over. We have like just a few more weeks left. We're heading into week 4 next week, I think. I lose track of how many weeks we have, honestly. Let's just be honest, I do. Core Kids, I have 3 weeks worth of work for you to do, and then we're going to kind of use that last week for any like redos or makeups, things like that. AP Kids, we're going to push through Frankenstein. I hope you enjoy it a lot. I have Mr. Weeks and I have been working on videos to share with you guys that are hopefully spoiler free. That's our biggest struggle is a lot of videos we find or articles have spoilers of what happens later. There's a lot of stuff you could look at after you're finished with the book and have it help you understand it a little bit more, but trying to find stuff you can experience partway through to help have quality discussions about what you read, that's a little bit more challenging. So look forward to the last few weeks of work. I wish we could spend it together. That would be ideal. No idea what this fall is going to look like. I'm also busy helping with some of the celebrations for seniors. So I'm busy with that stuff as well. As always, if you have any emails or any questions, email me. Not if you have any emails, email me. Don't do that. But yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. And hope to hear from you guys soon or see you in Teams. And have a lovely, 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 lovely day. That was a burp.